Hi everyone, welcome to Fat to Thin Senior RNY. I'm Raven. I was 76 years old when I had gastric bypass surgery done on December 16, 2019. You'd think I'd remember that date. Last week I talked about intuitive eating and what I eat in a day, or approximately what I eat in a day. In this vlog I was going to talk about the RNY surgery, diet, and weight loss. But the real question came up, which was, do you like yourself? If you're curious, please continue to watch and join me on this journey. Last week, I talked about intuitive eating and what I eat in a day. This week, as I said, I was going to talk about the RNY surgery and the diet and the weight loss and all that stuff. But the real question came up. Do you like yourself? If not, or if so, is that why you were or are fat? I mean, I think that has something to do with it. I have a true story to tell you. Earlier this year, within the last 365 days, I had a young white woman, and I have to say that she is white, okay? A young white woman say to me that she hates white people. I was disturbed, okay? She was in her middle 30s, but I could never get a coherent answer to why she said that, or why she still believes that. She'd talk about the nasty things white people did to her when she was younger, some pretty bad. She was a sex slave as a kid, for instance. She never talked about now, how she feels now, what she's going to do now, her future, anything. Her entire life was spent in the past. So, I mean, I understand that she had a pretty bad childhood, but why she hates white people, and she's white, I don't know how she could live with that. About 2 weeks ago, I mean, you know, I kind of got over it. You know, it was always in the back of my head, but anyway, about 2 weeks ago, another young white woman around the same age said to me, I hate white people. And then she drove off in her golf cart. She was in a golf cart. She was sitting, she had to be easily 50 feet away from me. And she shouted that, I hate white people. Anyway, she drove off in her golf cart because her husband just drove by in his truck. And he was on his way home, so she went home. This led me to formulate a bunch of questions, but I never got a chance to ask her any of them because she moved. There was an altercation in that family and she's gone. I want to know, why did she say that? How could she say that? It's just totally incomprehensible to me. Was that supposed to be some kind of code or something to integrate herself with a black person? Got me, babe. Does that mean she thinks I would like her more because she assumes I hate white people? That's a hard one to go by, babe. I was married to two of them, and I had a baby by one of them, so she's a little bit more than half white. So can't hate her. And the other ones, I mean, consider, we're black Americans. We got everything. We're 59, you know, Heinz is original here. So I can't hate anybody. You know, absolutely no one, because I've met these relatives, you know. Anyway, and who's got time or energy to sit around and hate people? I mean, what a waste. you know? So the biggest question for me, the thing that is driving me crazy is, how could she believe that about herself? Now, I've looked in the mirror, and there's things I don't like about me. I've, mentally, things I've said, things I've done, the way I look, the way I was dressed. But I don't hate me, and I don't hate Black people. I don't know how. It never even occurred to me to say anything like that. It's just crazy. It's obviously a self-esteem problem. But even with low self-esteem, how could you cut yourself off from the population like that? I think the biggest thing about self-esteem, and even with dieting and everything else, because that's all involved in there. You want to look nice, you want to feel good, and you want to impress people, you want to, whatever it is, I think the biggest thing about self-esteem is convincing yourself that you're worth it. Are you worth losing weight? Are you worth being thin? Are you worth the new closet of clothes you have to buy? Who decides that question? Who decides that? What's holding you back? Why don't you go for it? Just go for it, because we ain't got but so much time, And remember, absolutely no one can give you self-esteem. Just like no one can give you faith. Now, I realize there's a fear. Suppose you do get skinny. Suppose you really do look hot and the guys are just falling over you, or the girls, or whomever is just, after your ass. Are you afraid of that? Are you afraid of being attractive? And of course, there's not only the fear of being fat, but there's the fear of being too skinny. There are eating disorders of all types across the board, from not eating enough to eating way too much. You watch 600 Pound, My 600 Pound Life, I think is the name of it. Or what about these girls that weigh 90 pounds? Or guys. It's prevalent among men too, although we don't seem to talk about that much. What do you see when you think about being thinner? Are you panicked? How's your emotions going with that? Are you afraid? What? So, are you going to face it? So it comes down to the choices you make, how you want to live your life. Do you want to be fat or thin? And you do make that decision. Do you want to be happy, energized, healthy, joyous, laughing, feeling fabulous? Is that something that's going to jeopardize your relationships with your family, your friends, loved ones, So I personally believe that success with a diet, any diet, with this operation or any operation, whether it's a heart operation or a brain operation, whatever, it comes down to change, okay? And as far as weight loss goes, it comes down to changing the contents of the diet, okay? I don't really think it matters what diet you're on, but you do have to change. And success means choices. You always have to. Well, you make choices all day long, thousands of them, from what I understand. I don't keep my attention on on all of them, but you make choices all day long. So, I have a short little funny kind of strange exercise for you to do. Instead of turning, you know how you stand in front of the mirror and you turn clockwise? Everybody turns, at least in the northern hemisphere, they turn clockwise, okay? and you look at your body and you turn some more and you look at your body, you know, that kind of thing. This time, instead of turning clockwise, turn counterclockwise. Pay attention to the internal dialogue that goes on. Does it start the same as when you went around clockwise, or is it different? You'll find, I bet you'll find it's different. Pay attention to what you're saying to yourself. Are you sabotaging your self-esteem? I personally have heroes, but the signature on my emails, my business and everything else is, I want to grow up to be just like me. That to me means that I want to find out who I am, what I can do, how you know, I want to live. And if that means that I have to lose some weight, if it means I had to go through surgery in order to get my head together, that's what it meant. That was the choice, you know. But I want to grow up to be just like me, because I personally think I'm pretty cool. You know, I'm sorry to be so blatant about it, but that's the way it goes, you know. So anyway, on to Rowley, who's being quiet right now. Rowley let a small dog come up to him the other day when we were out walking, and they touched noses. Now the thing is that he's always been very violent toward any dog that come anywhere near him. He just touched noses with this dog, and he walked away. It was no big thing. I was a little bit more than pleasantly surprised. I told him he was a good boy. I petted him, you know, on the spot. Made sure that he got a lot of lovies for that. So, we're doing better here. Even so, he still won't visit with other dogs. He wants to sit in my lap and watch them. I think he's studying and learning how to interact, because he may not have had that kind of interaction before, you know. Hey, he's loving, he's warm, he's funny as hell, and smart, and he's still a toy thief. I managed to get 3 toys back to Shifty's mom, and so he can steal them again. So anyway, I like him. I enjoy his company. He's a good dog. So anyway, next week I'll be talking about what not to buy when preparing for surgery, what I ended up using and what not. Okay, so join me next week, okay? Next Friday. So to sum up, I'm feeling good, excited, energized, organized almost. You know, I'm getting better, you know. I'd make this choice for surgery again, absolutely. It's opened up my life. I managed to look at things a lot differently now than I did when I was too fat to move, you know. So please subscribe, comment, and please share this video. And don't forget to click show more to see the stuff in the description below. I do have, I believe, one link down there that talks about how food, how a study that was made, how food doesn't taste as good to fat people as it does to thin people. You would think the other way around, right? Anyway, so thank you for watching and listening, and thanks for subscribing. Okay, see you next Friday. Take care of you and yours, and blessed be. Okay.